All right. Hello, 8th grade. So here we go again. More distance learning math. We are on lesson 8 in your Unit 4 book. Like yesterday, I unfortunately don't know what page number to tell you because I don't have an actual book with me and the online version does not have page numbers. So just look for lesson 8 in your Unit 4 book and you will find it. Okay, so your warm-up is called Matching Solutions, and it says consider the unfinished equation 12 times x minus 3 plus 18 equals blank. Match the following expressions with the number of solutions the equation would have with that expression on the right-hand side. Okay, so what that means is you have this blank, and it wants you to imagine, well, not imagine, like you're actually going to put that one in the blank, you're going to put that in the blank, and then you're going to put that in the blank, and then you're going to decide how many solutions does making the equation that way have. So if we look at, let's say, this first one, 6 times 2x minus 3. So that means that what I would need to do is go, and I'll just write down here. Okay, so I would say 12 times x minus 3 plus 18 equals 6 times 2x minus 3. I hope that's kind of making sense why I'm doing that. Okay, so right off the bat, if I'm looking at this, think, is there any way that the left side of the equation could ever look just like the right side? If that makes sense. So right away you can kind of eliminate, like, it's going to be all solutions, or it's going to be no solutions, or it's going to be one. But if you're not comfortable doing that, just literally going through and solving it like normal is perfectly fine, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go and distribute on that one and on that one. So I've got 12x minus 12 times 3, 36, plus 18 equals 12x minus 18. Okay, so I see a 12x, I see a 12x, I see a minus 18, well, let's not highlight in pink because you won't be able to see it. I see a minus 18, but then over here I see minus 36 plus 18. But if you do the math there, you end up getting 18, I believe. So 12x, because if we do this math here, you get minus 18, right? So 12x minus 18 equals 12x minus 18. And you don't have to go and find x, because if they're both the same thing on either side, right, like that's the same as that, then I can literally just end it and say, okay, they're the same thing on both sides. If they're the same thing on both sides, it's automatically all solutions. So, oops, I'm going to erase this. And then I'm going to draw my arrow to all solutions, like that. I hope that made sense. So what you're going to do for the other two problems is you're going to go and you're going to set it up just like I did, because I don't want to be here forever doing something that you guys can do on your own. So I would set this equal to this, right? So 12 times x minus 3 plus 18. And then same. Okay, so then you would go through, simplify, solve, and then no solutions means like there's no way that you can solve for x. X will essentially cancel out. So x cancels. That's what no solutions means, right? Like, let's say you have, I don't know, 2x on this side and then, oops, 2x on that side. And that would just be all solutions. Anyway, I'm tired and I can't think of an example for no solutions. But what would happen is if you go and solve it, you will not be able to solve for x. X will disappear. For one solution, that means that x can just be one number. So like x equals 1 or x equals 2, and that's all. It's not going to be like this, where you have the same thing on both sides. I hope that kind of makes sense. I know that was a little bit confusing. I didn't have time to think about it. Okay, we are skipping this. So in your book, you can put a big red X through it. I'll do red highlights bigger because we are not doing the second activity. That wouldn't really work very well without having partners and me giving you all this stuff. So we're just going to skip it. Cool. All right, last activity looks really, really, really long and complicated, but it's actually not that bad. So let's take a look. So it says for each equation, determine whether it has no solutions, exactly one solution, or is true for all values of x and has infinitely many solutions. If an equation has one solution, solve to find the value of x that makes the statement true. Okay, so I'm going to can I move it to the side? Okay. I'm going to try to make a key over here so you guys can have an idea about what all those things mean. So there's 3 different things that you're going to decide if it fits into which category. So there is the no solution category. There is the exactly one solution category. And then there is the true for all values of x category. Okay, so no solutions means x cancels. So something happens and x just disappears, like you're solving it and you try to move x to the other side and then suddenly x just cancels out and there's just no way that you can get x on one side and have it remain. It's going to cancel itself out and you're just going to have numbers and it won't equal anything. That's what no solution means. Exactly one solution, so I'm going to write a 1. That means that x equals one number only. This is just a normal equation, okay? So like 2x equals 8. Divide by 2, x equals 4, right? That's all it equals. Can't equal anything else. True for all values, so I'm going to write all. All means both sides of the equal sign are the same. So that would be like, 3x equals 3x. Whatever you do to one side, it's going to be the same on the other side, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, so moving on. Let's look at number 1. It says A is 6x plus 8 equals 7x plus 13. So I'm just going to go through and this will be a good review for how we solve equations again, since it's been a while. I want to get x on one side, right, and then number on the other side. So I'm going to take, and for those of you who are like, where are you? If you're not paying attention, we're on this one right here. Okay. So I'm going to take 6x, and you could do 7, move 7 to the left and move 6 to the right. It doesn't matter. But I don't want to have a negative x. So I'm going to do minus 6x. Maybe I can make this smaller. Perfect. I think that's better. Okay. Minus 6x. Draw my line. And then that cancels out, right? So I've got 8 equals, oh my gosh, so hard to write with this pen, x plus 13. Okay, so 8 equals x plus 13. I'm going to minus 13, because I want x on one side, numbers on the other, right? Minus 13. That cancels out. Now I've got x alone is equal to negative 5, I think. Negative 5. Negative 5. Okay, so I have x equals one number. The category that would fall into would be either no, one, or all. And it's going to be one solution, right? There isn't an infinite number. There's just literally one number that answer. So I'm going to write my answer next to A, and I'm going to write 1 for one solution. Okay, so let's do B and C. But first I'm going to erase this. Sorry. You can rewind it if you need to and write it down, but we don't have enough room. Okay, I'll leave that part though. Here we go. So 6x plus 8 equals 2 times 3x plus 4. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to distribute, right? I'm going to distribute my 2 in this thing. I'm going to leave that. So 6x plus 8, there's nothing to do with that yet, right? 2 times 3 is 6, so 6x, and 2 times 4 is 8. So right away, I'm like 6x plus 8 equals 6x plus 8. Perfect, done. That means that it is all, right, from over here on your key, because both sides are the same. So I write all. And then automatically I'm going to know the last one is none, right? But you want to show your work and figure it out. So for this very last one, 6x plus 8 equals 6x plus 13. If this 13 were an 8, it would be all, right? Because then they would be the same on both sides, exact same. But it's not, it's a 13. Because I know some of you are going to see the x's are the same on both sides and think it's similar, and it is, but it's not quite. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to minus 8, like this, right? Goes away. Then I've got, I'm just going to draw an arrow and do this here. So 6x equals 6x plus 5, because 13 minus 8 is 5. So if I go and try to do the next step, and I'm going to say, okay, I want all my x's on the left. So I'm going to minus 6x, like this, minus 6x. But then what happens is it all goes away. And I just have 0 equals 5. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? 0 doesn't equal 5, and you don't have an x anymore. So what that means when you get a weird thing like that, it's just none. Like there's no solution. And this is totally a thing that'll come up a lot when you guys are in algebra and stuff in high school. It's pretty common to have problems that will end in no solution. So don't think you're just trying to get tricked by your teacher. It's a real thing. Sometimes they don't have a solution. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. You're going to do the same exact thing for 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Same thing. So you're just going to write 1, all, no solution. And if for some of them, like let's say you get to 4 and 5 and you don't want to work out whatever the third one is, you just know that's the one that was missing. I'm pretty sure each problem has like one of each type of answer. I'm not positive, so don't go through it thinking that because I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's mixed up in order, but that every single problem has like one of them will be one solution, one will be all solutions, and one will be no solution. That should help you out a little bit. Alrighty. So I think that's all, because that's a blank space that I put for us to do work, and I forgot I did. That's not work, and we don't need to do the warm down because you guys have homework to do too. So then you've got to do your practice problems, which I don't know the page number, but you know how to find them. 4.8. Alrighty. So don't forget, if you have questions, and only join if you have questions, to the Google Meet, 1 o'clock for purple and 1:40 for green group if you have a question. If you don't have a question, then you're fine.